Hello everybody, this is Tim here again. Finally getting back with my another movie review with a movie that I haven't been really dying to watch. But I figured I might as well get it watched so I can hurry up and get the review up and get it over with. It's Children of the Corn Runaway, which I believe is like the ninth or the 10th Children of the Corn movie counting the remake. I'm not for sure. They're starting to kind of merge together to me. Anybody who watches my reviews knows I'm not a big Children of the Corn fan. The first one is alright. The second one is an okay B movie. The third one is my favorite of the series just because it's a good, like, schlock fest movie. Part 4 is passable. 5 is just an okay standard slasher. 6 is terrible. 7 is terrible. The remake is terrible. Children of the Corn Genesis is terrible. And this one isn't terrible. It just sucks. Taken as its own film, it's just like its own movie. It's a passable flick, but as the 10th Children of the Corn movie after all these films, still just doesn't offer enough. You can tell the director is trying. It's directed by a dude that did the movie Feast, which is a good film. The sequels are terrible, but the first is really good. And the directing here is good, but most of this movie, like, it just feels stretched out. Like, it's mostly just these weird dream sequences for a while. For the most part, this film feels much more like a Children of the Corn movie than the last film, Genesis. But at the same time, it still feels padded out and just too long for its runtime, for the story it's using here. And I like the fact we pretty much get like a killer little girl in the film, who we actually find out at the end is actually the main character as a child who is friggin' crazy now or whatever. We find out in the movie that this movie is actually interesting because it's really a sequel to the remake. If you remember the ending of the remake and the bonus scene after the credits for the remake, it was the character Ruth burning down the cornfield. This movie brings back that character and she burns down the cornfield. It's really honestly a sequel to the remake, which is really weird to have like the ninth or whatever film be a sequel to the remake. That's just really weird to me. But she burns down the cornfield, runs off, has her kid, and she stays on the run to get away from the corn cult. She stops at this town. Why she just doesn't leave and all this crazy crap starts happening, I have no idea. She just kind of stays there. The movie just feels padded out. And then there's just way too many weird visions in the movie. Some of them work, but a lot of them just kind of feel like they're just there because the director just didn't know what the hell to do to kill time until we get to the end of the film. There's some okay kills. Not as interesting kills as you could have gotten, but they're okay. And the little girl who turns out to be the main character as a child, that was an interesting idea, and she is creepy, the little girl actor is, and it's cool to have like a female leader of the Corn, you know, after so many movies, when all these movies have had guys, as far as I remember, as the leaders. So that was kind of neat. It's not enough to save the movie. And the idea here is interesting, and the acting is good. And the movie's directed professionally. The movie just doesn't offer much. It's just, once again, it just feels like, another Children of the Corn film. But it is stylish directing here. You can tell this director has talent. And when, there's a scene where Ruth is in a diner, and she has like a freak out moment, and she imagines all the kids coming in and murdering the people in the diner, like the original flick. And there's like these really cool shots of the blood like flying towards the screen, but it looks a little bit too 3D. But at the same time, it looks cool. So you can tell the director has talent. He's trying to do something here with this movie. He's trying. And when you get to the end of the movie, pretty much you find out that the friendly waitress, surprise here, which was obvious to see coming, is actually one of the leftover Children of the Corn who has grown up since the original film or the remake or whatever. And she wants to bring this woman's son into the fold and make him the new Corn leader to start the cult all over again. And at the end of the movie, the son kills Ruth, and that's how it ends. And it ends with him preaching. The kid's acting just is not that good when he tries to preach like Isaac or whatever from the original film.